A big hole appeared in one of the stands. Durham County Cricket Club are reviewing the safety procedures after the partial collapse of a temporary seating stand during the 2020 international between England and the West Indies at the Emirates Riverside Stadium on Saturday night. One spectator remains in hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries after falling 20 feet through a hole in the floor. Two other spectators suffered minor injuries during the second innings of the match, which the West Indies won by 21 runs. Durham have reiterated their stance that all relevant safety procedures had been followed. Indeed, it is understood that the stand in question, in the northeast corner of the ground, had been inspected thoroughly in the week prior to the match. During the recent county championship fixture against Kent, the stand was originally part of the temporary seating for the beach volleyball competition at the London 2012 Olympics, which took place at Horse Guards Parade. It was acquired by Durham the following year, who have used it for international fixtures ever since. It is understood that the stand in question had been inspected. Credit AFP. Durham's internal investigation is expected to deliver its findings early next week. In the meantime, and for some time afterwards, there are some pointed questions that still require answers. How robust can the testing process have been if the floor caved in barely a week later? What is to be made of reports that another stand in the same area of the ground also saw its floor cave in earlier in the afternoon, with one spectator suffering cuts and bruises and with temporary seating becoming an ever more popular fixture in the UK events industry? How confident can spectators be in the safety? In 2011, the Health and Safety Executive commissioned research into the proliferation of temporary seating in the events industry and discovered that unlike the conventional construction industry, poorly defined management chains and the last-minute approach taken by many contractors to temporary structures was a potential threat to safety. Stewards cleared spectators away from the hole. It was, in truth, the last thing Durham would have wanted on the one big night of the year. The county are trying to build bridges with the England and Wales Cricket Board after their unprecedented financial bailout last year, which saw them forcibly relegated, deducted 48 points in Division 2 and barred from hosting Test cricket for the foreseeable future. They host an ODI against Australia next summer and have been promised 3 games at the 2019 World Cup, but as of 2020 its future as an international venue is up in the air, with matches yet to be allocated. And so's Durham tried to convince the ECB of the willingness and suitability as an elite sporting venue. This incident could scarcely have been timed worse. Durham Chief Executive David Harker refused to be drawn on whether the incident had harmed Durham's long-term prospects as an international venue, or on the possibility of legal action against the club. It's really far too early to speculate on anything like that, he told the Daily Telegraph. What we need to do is understand what happened, and why it happened. We've never had anything like issues of this kind. As far as I'm concerned, it was handled professionally on the evening. But that's another aspect of what the investigation will look at. Stewards cleared spectators away from the hole to cap a largely unsatisfactory night all round. The West Indies spent much of the evening bitterly complaining to the umpire about the slippery conditions. A rain shower stopped play late in the West Indies innings, and though the rain returned later in the evening, umpires Michael Goff and Tim Robinson opted to let the game conclude. Early on in the England innings, West Indies wicketkeeper Chadwick Walton twisted his knee trying to take a leg-side catch, and required lengthy treatment on the outfield. Captain Carlos Braithwaite threatened to take his side off if another similar incident occurred. I had a chat with a few of the boys in a huddle while Chadwick was getting treatment, and most of them said it was unsafe, Braithwaite said. I told the umpires the boys had some concerns. It could be a career-threatening injury next. We always wanted to play, but safety is a major concern, and it was always in the back of our minds. We gave an ultimatum. We were in agreement that if it continued to be unsafe, or if anything drastic happened, we'd call it quits.